Hello, it's another Wednesday, and we are so excited to join you. You might have noticed that last week we didn't have a Wednesday Q&A. I don't think, maybe one time in the last year, did we have like a tech glitch, where we've had to, a couple times certainly, where we've had to then record and post it in the group. Last week, everything just went awry, and we unfortunately were not able to get to hang out with you guys. So we've been missing you. So we're really excited to be here this week for our live Q&A, and we have a wonderful panel joining us today. I'm going to go ahead and introduce them so that you guys know who's talking with you and who to reach out to if you have questions on anything. I will, if this is in the podcast, I will post email addresses and contact information in the show notes so that you can reach out directly to whomever it is that you're looking to find. So starting off, we have our Miss Diana with Wellness is Essential with Diana.
Hello, happy Wednesday.
Hello. And then we have Tammy Lane from Pure Plant Oils.
Oh.
We've got our lovely Miss Joan, who taught a killer class last night. I mean, to tell you, that rest class was awesome. Everyone loved it. I've been hearing nothing but great things from everyone. So if you missed it, we'll try to get a recording going, but gosh, was it awesome. So we have our lovely Miss Joan Sberro from Bosqueom Essentials.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. And then, of course, we've got Susan Velasquez from Epiphany Essentials.
Hey, everyone.
Hello. And squeaking in, her wheels are squealing around the corner. We've got, and I'm not even sure that her audio will be on quick enough, but we do have our wonderful partner, Miss Romelia Rodriguez Walters from casawaltersessentials. And she'll be chiming in here. You'll hear her popping in just a second to say hello. And my name is Carrie from Raven's Nest Essentials. And boy, are we excited to get to hang out with you guys today. Like I said, we missed you last week. So we've got a lot of great questions to dig in with. I'm going to go ahead and start because I think we've got quite a few, right? Anyone chime in on whatever you're feeling. Let me open up my little list here. Okay, so the first one, there she is. Hello, Miss Romelia. Happy to see you.
I had to shower. I was really smelling myself, and it was bad.
You know it's bad when in a Zoom you feel like the need to, you're like,
oh yeah,
I go sure the Zoom meeting.
I need to start ticking on my calendar the days that I actually bathe, because it's becoming like this thing.
Funny. Well, the oils certainly are helpful in that department. Okay, so you can still smell lovely, and you're like, really? I haven't gotten a chance. But trust me, I feel you with this lifestyle. It makes it easy for a couple days to go by without taking a shower, and then you go, oh, wait a minute, especially when we have a string of days where we're driving, because you just want to get up and go. There's so many of us, it's like, just get in the car, we'll deal with it when we get there. And then we get there and we're like, we're tired. And then next thing you know, you're like, I think that was Wednesday, Anyway, but thank God for our oils. We still all smell amazing. So I'm happy about that, especially with teenagers, let me tell you. Okay, so kicking us off today is, we have some great questions about our clementine and our geranium. So real quick, how are you guys, or what are some of your favorite uses for clementine? So anyone go ahead and pop on in and share what your favorites are. I think we could probably round up several great ideas on here because it's a favorite for sure.
I'm ready to hear because this is my first time getting it. So I'm going to be taking notes. I can't wait.
Yeah. So if you didn't know, it's an exclusive oil. What does that mean? That means that it's not available. You cannot go into your account and order clementine at just, a random day next month or even after the 15th of this month. The only way to get clementine is through your LRP by placing a 125 PV order before the 15th of the month, which is coming around the corner quick. You will hear clementine come up in protocols and recipes all year long. Joan, I'm sure you can attest to that, right? Is that all year we're all like, well, I use my clementine, and Joan's over there rolling her eyes going, well, I don't have any ding gong clementine. Well, now is your chance to get the ding gong clementine, right? Whenever there's an exclusive one, always get it. Even if, I get it if every month you're like not necessarily jazzed because maybe it's an oil that you already have some of or something, but whenever it's an exclusive, even if you don't know what to use it for, it'll come up and you will wish you had grabbed it. So, all right, Romelia, you were about to share something about clementine.
Yes, I was. And let me know if this mic is not working. I just realized earlier today that there's a Scotch tape on this. So I'm guessing this made its way around some little hands here, or big hands here. So I really just use clementine, the ones that we got from last year, in like my smoothies and drinks, because it just tastes really, really yummy. And sometimes throwing it in the diffuser. But when I really started looking into it again so that I can have a better understanding, I have added it to my facial serum because it has skin healing properties, which I wasn't even aware of until I started reading the research on it. And then I added it to my hair serum. I now have a hair serum. It's just, my hair's just been so dry lately. So I've been, putting that on a couple of days a week. But clementine, it just smells wonderful in there, but it has all of these wonderful clarifying properties. So it helps that the serum doesn't weigh down my hair, but it smells lovely. So that's really the primary way, is in my facial serum. That was like the big discovery moment for me. I didn't even realize, I guess I just don't think about citrus oils having that regenerative properties, because you always read about them being detoxifiers and cleansing the body, cleansing the surfaces, but to actually, promote healing, that was my moment. And I gotta add this. I gotta add this to my serum, and it smells good.
Well, now we will be asking you to please include those recipes in the comments section if possible, because that question is going to come up. Next Wednesday, it'll be, what is in Romelia's facial serum and what is in Romelia's hair serum, right? Now, let me ask you, are you using that facial serum? You wouldn't recommend using that and then going right outside, or what?
Oh, no. I use it in the morning. So
Okay.
I'm home in the morning and not really exposed, but I don't put it on before I go out for a run.
Okay.
I do that after, when I shower and I know that I'm going to be home. But I really just put about 5 drops in there. So it's not like I'm putting a whole bunch in there. But I definitely slather it on at night, my serum, before I go to bed.
Nice. Very nice. That's a great use. And then one I haven't thought of before either. Susan, do you have any, or?
Yeah, I do actually. And honestly, I got the idea from you and Romelia, so I have to give you both credit. I've been using the clementine in our super flume serum. And so it's frankincense, and I replaced the lemon with clementine. I still use the oregano and the on guard, and then either tea tree or melaleuca, that's where the M came from, or if you have it, you can use the niuli that we got as another limited time only oil last year as one of our product of the month oils. So we've been kind of doing that to soup up that flume recipe a little bit.
Yeah, give it that extra punch of limonene,
right?
That we get that benefit there, which is exactly what we do too. I love it in drinks, just like in smoothies as well. I think it's delicious. Have you tasted it yet, Joan?
I haven't yet. I haven't had a chance to taste it yet, but I know I have to. I will. And I'm thinking, I mean, Trixie's not on here. She's probably baking away, but I can imagine in a cocktail.
Oh yeah, it's really good. Very good in a cocktail. I really like it with, well, we call it fuzzy water, but like sparkling water.
Yes.
It's really tasty in sparkling water. I don't know what's the difference there between the other citruses, but it really just comes to life. Really yummy, delicious. Gets me to drink a lot more. Diana or Tammy, do you guys have any clementine tips?
Well, I think I like it because it's a blend of the mandarin, which is really sweet, and the wild orange. So that makes it delicious. But you can also, putting it in your water, you can either add grapefruit to kind of make it more grapefruity, or you can even put a drop of spearmint and have that. So like a clementine spearmint lemonade would be delicious, or clemonade. What would you call it?
Lemonade. Oh, I like that.
Lemonade.
Diana, what do you have for us? Do we have emotional benefits? Are you going to take us into
There's
some?
yes, there's some great emotional benefits to clementine. It's just it's got the most amazing brightness in it. And so it's just wonderful in your diffuser, just like any citrus oil. But the clementine is, you know, it hasn't been included in our Essential Motions book yet, but it does have just such a really bright and cheerful aroma that
Yeah.
it's really great to just use it to mix into anything that you're creating. That's going to be like maybe a little wake up roller or like a happiness roller. I believe it's in Brave also. So yeah, it's just a really wonderful ingredient that you really do want to have because I guess it's wild orange in Brave, but yeah, the clementine will punch up any kind of like orangey citrus, and of course we know how important it is to have that because it has that both calming and relaxing as well as the uplifting effect that really just kind of just makes us feel better. That sweetness just kind of makes us like draws us to it and just makes us feel so good and just cheers us up, brings a smile to our face. So that's what's important. I believe it's in Motivate, actually. That's
Motivate
what
and
it's in.
Thinker. It's in
Oh,
Motivate
Thinker.
Motivate and Thinker. Very
and Thinker. Yeah.
Yum. It's just a fantastic oil. You get a 15 ml bottle. It's not a small one. It'll last you a good long time unless you're like some of us who really, really love their citrus oils. There's a ton of different uses. The diffuser recipes that have been coming out and showing up in our Facebook groups and around have been amazing. Some of them I'm just like, oh yeah, it really is one of those citrus oils that changes in the diffuser. It has a lot of depth to it, so it opens up kind of over time as you're diffusing it, which is really, really nice. So be sure to get it. Yeah, did you have something, Tammy?
I was just going to say, and because of the high limonene content, it's also good for cleaning surfaces, and it'll also remove sticky goo, like like label stuff, kind of like the lemon does. It'll remove sticky goo off of stuff and residue. So
Well, that goes to show you it's a 5 ml. My box is
It
not
comes in a 5 ml. Yeah.
at house, so I thought it was a 15. It's a 5
But it's
ml.
so cute. It's like that. It's like that little set we got with the moms.
Yeah.
All the
That's
citrus
where I got
oils
it.
for the
That's
moms.
exactly it. I was trying
And
to
it's
remember,
so
but we got them
cute.
before. The
I
little ones.
know.
It's the
And it has little
Monstay.
pictures on the label of the
Yeah.
fruit.
Like the kumquat
With the
and
kumquat and the
red
red
mandarin.
mandarin. Yeah, that's
You
where
know,
it came from.
I love the 5 mils because I love the bottles, right? I love that size for travel and convenience, and having the clementine in a 5 mil as something that you're also using in your super flume, to be able to take that with you, to take those ingredients, because we can get a little oregano, a little frank, you know what I mean? A little on guard, not just straight order, but there are ways like through kits and stuff that you can get those. And so now you can have your little clementine too, to kind of all fit together in your little travel kit for keeping your flume going. So that is nice. And then the little copaiba, what was the little copaiba in? Is it in the sleep kit?
It's in the sleep wellness. Yeah.
So
I think
excited.
too. Yeah. It's super cute. The little one.
It is adorable. All right, so thank you for fixing that for me, Romelia. That would have made me sound really stupid. So geranium, we have our amazing geranium, which I have heard people who know an awful lot about oils and oil chemistry, I mean, we're talking an awful lot, say that if they had to be stuck on a desert island, the one oil that they would take with them is geranium, which floored me when I heard it, because it was just not even on my radar back when I heard this. I was like, geranium? Like, really? You're not going to say on guard? You're not going to say, I don't know, tea tree or just frankincense? Seriously, you're not going to say frankincense? And man, geranium has such a broad and incredible amount of, uses, and the way and they're not just ways you can use it, it's actually one of the best ones to use for those things. Am I making sense here? Instead of it just being like, you can also use it that way. It's like, oh, well, did you know geranium? It does this, 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 and this. So Susan, you had some info on it to share that will hopefully make me make more sense on this.
I do. Actually, I really love geranium, and I probably don't use it as much as I should, just because, like you said, it's kind of one of those sort of, it's not always the one that comes first to mind, even though in our family, we've had incredible results with geranium. So it really should be more on the forefront for me. So if we look in the Modern Essentials Handbook, you can see under properties, geranium has all the big ones, right? It is anti-inflammatory, it is antiseptic, you can use it as an insect repellent. It has relaxing and sedative qualities to it. And that just goes to show it's such a wide range of applications that I have not identified yet a body system that is not helped by geranium. So wow. You can help me as I go through this list, but for women, it's very helpful for monthly cycle issues, pain, PMS, those kinds of things. You can use it right over the abdomen. It's great even for our menopausal, perimenopausal type symptoms. Again, you can use it aromatically, and you can also use it topically. If we're talking about later in our experience of reproduction, then you want to put it like over your adrenal glands. So you want to kind of get to the back in that kind of kidney area for that support. It's helpful for metabolism and regulating healthy blood sugar. It's helpful for skin, all sorts of skin issues. It's particularly helpful for nerve discomfort, which is the area where we've just had really great results with someone in our family who had, this was a big issue, a lot of discomfort following, how shall we say, following, and trying not to throw the, I can now it's escaped me. I'm trying so hard not to say it, and now I can't even remember what it's called. But following one of those nerve things that happens periodically to people in our later years who have had chickenpox at one point in our lives, then this is sometimes an issue. And the pain that follows, especially when the outbreak itself is all cleared up, can be really, really painful for some people. Not for everybody. For some people, it clears up and that's it, they're done, and their experience with it is over. But if you're one of those few unfortunate people who deal with the continuing pain afterwards, then that's a really big problem. And geranium is really helpful for that. So again, like I said, I haven't found a body system yet. It's supportive of the urinary tract. And so it's kind of like one of those oils that we talk about often, for that type of support. Geranium to me has not previously come up. And in looking into it a little bit more this month, learned that it's even good for that application. So just so many ways to use it. However, I have to say, I think one of the most fun ways that we've used it is in our mermaid spray. And so we have done a hair spray that I put into the chats while we were chatting, and there it is. And that's just a combination of a variety of oils, one of which is geranium. And you can spray it and kind of work it into your hair, especially around, the scalp and roots, because, that's where our hair is actually growing. But it's very conditioning also because of that argan oil, and just really great after shampooing. I like to put it in wet hair and rub it through. It's really great.
Nice
conditioning spray.
It's crazy. I think a lot of us have previously just thought of it as like a nice floral, and that, exactly. it smells pretty and it can uplift your mood and all of those, the emotional aspects, right? Which Miss Diana is going to share with us, but it really, medically, it has so many uses. It's like a sleeper. It's one of those sleepers that you just don't realize. Uh-oh, somebody's getting a call. Run. Oh, it's Susan. She's the only person with a phone. Like a phone. All right, Diana, what do you have on the emotional benefits there of our friend Geranium? By the way, Geranium's on sale this month, if you didn't know. So that's part of
15% off.
15% off, which is nice because often it's only 10. So 15 is a great deal. Go ahead, Miss
Yeah,
Diana.
and it is the big bottle. It's the 15 mil.
It is the 15 mil. Good. Funny.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so geranium is a beautiful oil. And although people know geranium as a floral, what it really is also an herbal oil. So the geranium that doTERRA uses is used, the whole plant is used. And that way you can get all the wonderful benefits of this beautiful plant because it is so therapeutic. And it gives you all those different components, which, you know, I don't know all the science about, but it's just amazing. And I love to make use of it. So geranium is the oil of love and trust. And I'm reading from the Essential Emotions book, which I love to share with you. And it is going to help you to restore the confidence that you may have lost in the innate goodness of others and the goodness in the world. It helps to facilitate trust and assists in reestablishing a bond to parents. So it's really good for May in terms of like healing anything if you might have a separation there with mother. And so, you know, it just encourages that emotional honesty and love and forgiveness and allows you to foster receptivity to human love and connection. So it also aids in healing a broken heart because that grief or pain that you suppress, it helps you to encourage opening up and finding out what that's all about, what's under all that, right? And helps you to soften your anger and allow that love to flow again. So it's called the Emotional Healer. It's a gentle oil. It's perfect for babies and children and probably a wonderful way to help if there's ever, you know, like a separation there or a problem there that you're having where you're feeling like you really want to create that bond, maybe a new child that is new to the family and that you're having trouble with that. So that's a wonderful way to bring in that wonderful parental and baby bond. And yeah, it leads away from the logical mind and into the warmth and nurturing of the heart. And that's just a wonderful way to use it, is to dispel all those untrusting and unforgiving emotions and the grief that we carry with us. So it's perfect for this month. And it's also just really easy to use. You can use it aromatically and you can mix it in a bunch of wonderful diffuser blends, as well as just applying it topically and enjoying it that way, especially applying it over your actual heart area. And you can also take this internally because it's one of our oils for internal use. You may not like the taste of it, so I would suggest to put it into a capsule if you're going to take it internally. But yeah, it's just, to me, it smells beautiful and it smells like a really earthy herbal rose to me. So it goes great with rose as well, or any other floral to kind of mix together and apply. And it's just, it's like patchouli in the sense that it has that really, really strong, rich earthiness, and it just grabs you. It's unforgettable, that aroma. So if you have it, use it. If you don't have it, get it. I mean, Miss Romelia has been bouncing them curls around with geranium for ages and looking super cute. Like before I really even knew much about geranium, she's like, and then I got geranium and I did all this with my hair. And I'm just like, wow.
That's exactly what
So
Romelia sounds like
it's a
too.
great oil. I love it.
Exactly. Put it in your shampoo, into your conditioner. You don't even have to make something fancy. Just add it in there, a few drops, split the bottle into both of your containers, or do a whole bottle like Susan, you know, put it all in there. It's just so good for your hair.
Yes, it's so good.
I'd
So
like
excited.
to read some compliant things from the medicinal essential oils book that I have. Geranium oil possesses good antioxidant properties. It reduces inflammation by suppressing the neutrophil accumulation of fluid retention in the area of inflammation. It contains a constituent of 10-epigamma-eudzimol, which is considered a natural tick repellent.
Nice.
And that,
I have heard that about ticks. I had heard that about geranium and ticks.
it demonstrated an 85.9 to 97% efficacy against the tick, depending on the concentration, and that was only 1 to 10%. And then another thing is it is very effective in killing the itch mite that burrows into the skin and causes scabies during direct contact.
Scabies. Yeah.
Scabies.
Ooh.
Scabies, yeah.
That's no fun. So clearly, get you some geranium, right?
Yes.
Because not only is your hair going to look good, but you're not going to have, you know, visitors moving in anywhere.
And it's good for parasites.
Yes,
If
it is
you
good
take
for
it
parasites.
internally in a veggie capsule, it's great for parasites.
Man, oh man. Now I'm getting like, I'm itching everywhere. I feel really uncomfortable.
Well, and it's also good for like for foot bath, for like fungus for your feet, and also if in your mouth for like thrush or candida for oral care. So
Yeah.
there's
Funny.
very
You can see,
versatile.
yeah, you can see why someone would want this one to have as the oil, you know, that they need if they were trapped on a desert island somewhere. So be sure and grab one while they are on sale for 15% off. It's a great deal. And that is in May 2021, in case you're watching or listening to this at some other time, right? But let's move on just because we have so many questions to do. One is it okay to use oils around my eyes? So we know that we don't want to use oil in our eyes. Some of us have volunteered accidentally to have some in our eyes, and we know how that feels. It's not pleasant. It does pass quickly. A good tip is to just use some fractionated coconut oil. You can put a little tiny bit on like a piece of toilet paper or whatever, Q-tip or something, and just touch the corner of your eye, and it will draw the oil out of your eye. It's actually quite amazing how quick that works. If it's a kid and they're just like, don't be sticking that in my eye, just squirt some around their eye and rub. I've done that, and it comes out like instantly. I will say though, I've gotten it in my eyes a few times. I got Correct-X in my eye the other day. That lasts a little longer because it's Correct-X, you know, it's thicker. But even still, it does go away pretty quickly. Like, you know, you just kind of sit there with your eye closed for a moment and it goes away. It's not like it's going to burn out your eyeball or something insane. It's just really unpleasant. So using the oils around your eyes is actually a wonderful treatment. You know, I love using my Immortelle around my eyes. I will often get past tense very close to my eyes by accident because it's, you know, you put it on your temples and it is a very thin oil, the way that the past, have you guys noticed this too? And if you're like me and you have these perfect little pathways, we're going to say, that go directly from my temples to my eyes themselves, my own little,
Yes.
you know, my own little
That's
river.
happened to me. I was like, I'm gonna put some frankincense over here, and then I'm like, ah.
Yeah, you're like, how did that get there? I was like, oh, I have those nice little, you know, built-in riverbeds that draw it directly. But you get through it, right? But it you know, it's a great treatment for your eyes to use oils around them. I often will just close my eyes and rub my, you know what I mean, for like a frankincense or something, and do the outsides without issue. But you don't want to use them in your eyes. So also hot oils you want to kind of stay away from because this is very tender skin. Hot oils meaning oregano, peppermint, things like would act, you know, you can imagine, right? That would be harmful to such sensitive skin areas, which is where that past tense comes into play sometimes. So, but yes, you absolutely can use oils around your eyes. Same is true for your ears, by the way. You can use oils around your ears, just not down dripping into the ear canal. Okay. A great way is to put a little bit on a cotton ball and just kind of lay, if you're having like an earache or something of that nature, just kind of lay with the cotton ball resting on the opening of the ears, not so it, don't squeeze it in there because you don't want it dripping, but it will actually kind of, I'm going to say fumigate, if you will, like, because the off gassing of the oil, and boy, it's so effective, but you don't actually have to put it down in the ear. That would not be good. Okay, so the next question is related to our wellness kits. Okay, I'm going to skip here. Are we going to be able, I thought this was an interesting question. Are we going to be able to order items? So let's say, for instance, the Serenity body butter, all right, that we're all so excited to get our hands on, and Miss Joan is over there flaunting at us these days. Let's say you've already ordered all of your wellness, your sleep wellness kits. You finished the 3, but now you just want one of those items that was in a previous month. Can you just go, is there a place to, like, have you unlocked some secret shopping room that would allow you to just go and buy just the body butter? The answer is no, it is not. It only comes as part of the package. And so, no. Does anyone want to share or have thoughts on, I mean, I know why that is, but I feel like I've been talking a long time. Thoughts on why, or anything to add to that?
Well, first of all, I think they're already pre-assembled kits because they come in their nice little bag in the first one, and then the boxes for all of the other ones. So,
Yeah.
you know, those are kind of the special things that you get for participating in the wellness program, right? Like you get the special product of the month by purchasing, you know, so.
I do.
That's what
Yeah.
I was thinking. Those are really sort of the special and exclusive things that make those wellness programs so amazing, right? Like Tammy, what you were showing us from the month, month 2 of the respiratory, that little shower in your shower diffuser, which is like, because the respiratory kit is next up for me when I finish the sleep kits, mostly because I don't really have respiratory issues, but everybody can use some support. But I want those exclusives. I want those things that I can't get otherwise. I want that really pretty personal inhaler. I want that little shower diffuser thing. So yeah, I'm getting the kit so I can get those things. And who knows? I mean, I love the sleep kits so much. I will probably cycle back around and do those again because those products are fabulous.
And really, if you're using them because this is an issue in your life, like for instance, for you, Joan, you might not go through the respiratory as quickly because, like you said, you'll be using those as sort of like here and there's. But if you're someone with sleep issues, you're going to use these products all the time, and that becomes part of your routine. I think one of the main reasons too why you're not going to be able to get, especially things like the body butter, for instance, is because those are free. Like those are just free, and part of it, they are not products that doTERRA makes to be sold. They're a free gift that comes with the other products that you bought. So you're just not going to see them with sort of like a PV value or a dollar value in our back office. Bummer, but at the same time, I think it helps us to get in those habits, right, and really be using what we're buying. So
well, that's what I was going to touch on, is that all the kits, they're like stacked on each other, so that you're setting that foundation with the first month, and then the second month you're exploring a different way to use your oils, and then the third month a little bit more. So I think it's very smart in the way that they package these kits so that we can get comfortable taking Serenity soft gels. That may be very new to people. You see them in you see them on your portal, your online portal, and you just skip over them because I'm not going to take another pill. They've never worked for me before, kind of thing, right? Until you get them in your kit and you start using them and you realize how much support you have. So I think that's just so brilliant of them, how they just stack all the kits so that set that foundation and you keep working and fine tuning those habits. so that you do get the support that you need for whatever wellness program you're on. I just think they're just brilliant. And yeah, the freebies are delicious.
It's
Well,
so
and what's so nice is once you start on a wellness program, you don't have to remember to add the next month or the following month to your LRP. It automatically gets populated there. But if you choose to not do it, you can remove it. So
yeah.
they
And
give
you
you
can,
options.
and what I love adding exactly to that, Tammy, is that then you can pick it up 3 months later and you don't have to go back to month 1. You can pick up at month 2. And that actually was one of our additional questions was, do I have to go into my LRP? Let's say I ordered month 1 this month and it already processed through. And now it's that time of the month when I go in and change my LRP for the next month. Do I have to go in and change it to month 2? And the answer to that is no. It will automatically do it for you. But you do have the ability to go in and change that, right, Joan?
And you can change, because what it will do month out, it'll repopulate, and it will, if you chose any add-ons, right, the wonderful add-ons, it will populate it the next month with the second kit or the third kit, and it will keep the original add-ons that you had, but you can go and edit those, right? I changed the add-ons for my second month of the sleep kit. I got different things the second time. So you can go in and change that part of it too. You don't, if you choose an add-on or 2 or 3 at the beginning, that doesn't mean that you have to get those same add-ons each month. You can play around and try all the different stuff.
Absolutely. I love that you can do that, but they don't make you, because it's such a good deal that I don't know. I just keep on trying to find like the thing, you know what I mean? But no, it's just, no, you get to go in and change. What? I can go in and change it. I can switch to something else. By the time I'm done with all 3 months, I could have gotten all the add-ons at least once, at that super duper deal. I love that you can do that. Or I can get the same add-on every month. I'm not limited to 1 Melissa. I can get 3, I love that. I think that's just awesome the way that they're doing that. Okay, so let's move on. I think we hit that one pretty well out of the park. So this one is, what's Manny's dog shampoo recipe? So this is what I don't, this is one of those questions that just comes up. It's sort of like, what is Susan's deodorant recipe, which I think we did one last week. There's another one too. Oh, I think it's Susan's headache roller. That one comes around every now and again, right? So I asked Manny, I said, he's like, again? I'm like, well, look, people want to know. So he texted it over to me. I'm going to tell it to you. So for audio people, what you're talking about here is a dog shampoo that works for supporting skin and hair and fur, right? So that they're not drying out, which is hugely important, but also to keeping away pests naturally. And then they smell so good and their coat looks so beautiful. It is all natural. It's all of our doTERRA essential oils that you're using in there. And it costs 42 cents for an entire bottle of this, which lasts for our 2 dogs months and months on end. Okay, we don't wash our dogs weekly or anything like that, but we have 2 dogs and, they get dirty. And so when we're washing them, we are using a lot, like, do them down. It just lasts forever. It's so, so good. So what you're talking about here is 1 cup of water, 1 tablespoon of Castile soap. So look for this, the Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. You want to get the unscented. There's one that's called the gentle baby unscented. It can be a little harder to find, but it is important. Don't get the peppermint one, because that particular peppermint has stuff in it that is not what you want to use on your dog. Okay. I just like to put that out there. If you can get your fingers or your hands on some, a 1/4 teaspoon of vitamin E oil. That's really good for their skin and coat, especially when we're coming into, if you have dogs that are shedders, right now they're kind of losing all that, and it's just really good at reinforcing. Then you want to bring in 3 drops of doTERRA peppermint essential oil. You need that purity. 3 drops of lavender. Then we've got 1 drop each of melaleuca, lemongrass, and cedarwood. And one he's adding now is 2 drops of Roman chamomile. Now, if we are in an area where ticks are an issue, right? We might bring in something like the geranium that we talked about. you know. You want to wash them really well, rinse them really well, being sure, of course, to rinse paws really well. It's a thing, especially if you wash a dog in a bathtub or something where their paws are in the bottom, and you rinse them all really well, their backs and their tummies and stuff, but you don't necessarily rinse their paws well. You want to rinse their paws well. Dogs don't like to have scents on their paws because that's goes against their nature, right? They want their scent on the ground. Also, they'll lick them a bunch. Not that it's problematic, but we always just like to take an extra second once we get them out to rinse their paws really well. And they seem to like it. But other than that, that's it. You can use this around their face without issue. Never have had a problem. It's very gentle. This is a large amount, the small amount of oils for a large amount of soap. So you can thin it too. So that is that recipe there. Sorry, it's long, but it works fantastic. It's so good. And you can use it on your children too. I mean, it's just a shampoo recipe, right? I love that it's so simple that way. You can use it on a cat. We have used it, minus the peppermint, we have used it on our ferret, because every once in a while she likes a good bath, and I certainly like for her to have one. So yeah, you know, it's safe for all your animals. So really, really good. Cats, double check on the peppermint, you know, see what they like and what they don't like. Our dogs have been fine with this recipe, so it hasn't been a problem. Okay. And by the way, you can take stuff out. If you don't have one of those, just leave it out. You know, if you don't like one, just leave it out. But if you add one in, double check to make sure that it's something that's safe for your dog. Okay. Just because you like it doesn't mean it's okay for them. Okay. So moving right along. So that was our wellness. Okay. How can I shut down my brain before bed? So this sounds like one of those questions that, like, after the class we had last night, somebody thought, you know, I did have a question and I didn't get it in time. So I'm going to throw it to you, Miss Joan, because what they're saying is that they've tried to introduce things like Serenity and cedarwood specifically, and it just doesn't seem to be working. Okay. So the shutting down of the brain, what kind of thoughts do you have there, Joan?
So I would say one that I use sort of in that way and have been using it more recently is adaptive touch. Grab an adaptive touch and have it on your nightstand. And then I've been using it over my heart, brainstem, right in here, sort of, you know, in the veins, and then down my forearms and in my palms. So get that adaptive all over you and have that going, maybe have that going in the diffuser. That can be really helpful for helping to calm that chatter, because sometimes that chatter is coming from some anxiety. And so that can help. The other thing, I mean, that's the one for me that has been working really well lately. I've just really been enjoying using that right as I turn the lights out and go to bed. And then I'll sort of, I get it in my palms, and then I'll sort of get it in my hair too, so that I'm really inhaling it as I'm going to sleep. And it's just really, that's lovely. I would suggest the other stuff I usually have in my nighttime diffuser. I do have cedarwood all the time, not necessarily lavender, but I also pretty much always have Roman chamomile in there and vetiver. So those are other ones to try that are very, very calming. The Serenity sleep gels are great. So I don't know if this person has tried the Serenity sleep gels or if just the oil, right? But I would suggest those as well. And then I would suggest maybe spending a little bit of time. I'd also want to know sort of, and we talked about this last night, right? Is this person sort of like turning off the news and then immediately trying to lie down and go to sleep, right? Or is there some time taken to wind down and to really kind of separate from the day, take a little bit of time to sit in bed, so that deep breathing that we did last night in the class, you can do that propped up in bed. I had a meditation teacher he called it bed med. And, you prop up your pillows, and 5 minutes before you go to sleep, you do some very deep breathing and just really calming down. And you do that in the morning as well as you're getting up from bed. And then, before you know it, you're meditating 5, 10, 20 minutes a day because you're doing it right before you go to sleep and when you get up. It's nice. So I would sort of a combination of all of those things is what I would suggest.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I like also last night you touched on something that really got me thinking. If you're the type of person who has that racing mind, right, where the day almost keeps running even though you're tired and you need the day to end, taking some 5-minute stop pauses a couple times throughout the day to sort of help regulate, down throttle or whatever, you know what I mean? Like regulate yourself, but also bring in things like the vetiver during those times so that you are getting continuous exhale moments throughout the day and allowing the oil to be in your system so that you're not just trying to get it all done at the 5 minutes or, you know what I mean, right before you go to bed. Also starting, like you're saying, the diffuser at least an hour before bed, putting the oils on the bottoms of your feet at least an hour before bed, because for some of us, it just takes longer to slow the mind,
And to take that time away from the stimulation. I think for a lot of people, that's the big thing, to not take that time to step away from all of your stimulation, TV, iPad, phone, chores, etc. To step away from that and have at least, a half an hour or so away from all of that stuff before you're trying to go to sleep. That's important too.
For sure. And don't give up. Sometimes it takes a little while.
And try different things. Try, a bunch of different things. And I would say too, for this is true for me and for a lot of people, we have the oils that are sort of known for that. For a lot of people, it's very relaxing. They may not be relaxing for you. Lavender may not be particularly relaxing for you. Serenity might be, it's nice, and maybe you have it during the day in the diffuser or something, but it's not the right thing for you. So I would say experiment, see which oil, you'll know, rub some in your hands. And when you get that response of just like, that's the one you want, regardless of whether anyone else thinks it's a relaxing bedtime oil or not.
That's so true. I know a lot of people that do that with Breathe. They find Breathe to be incredibly soothing and restful, and they love to sleep with it. And I find it to be like, woohoo, let's go, and so everyone is really different.
Everyone's different.
So it's okay for your chill oil to be just your chill oil. We're not going to judge you if it's Breathe or I don't know, another one that's like
a wild orange or something, it doesn't matter what it is. It's
peppermint wild orange at night. I'm like, wow, okay, that's impressive, but it is what it is, right? Just find yours and reach out as you have with this question, but reach out to your partner, to your advocate, and work with them. Keep giving information so that they can help continue to give you more solutions, and to work with you directly on ideas. And while
I'm always happy to help too. If the person wants to reach out, I'm happy to talk to them and suggest some things and see what it is really that's where they can make some changes to try and throttle that mind down. That's an issue a lot of people have.
For sure. I think it's more common than honestly, I think it's more common than even people themselves know about themselves. Like they don't know that that's why they're not, following. There's like, I'm just not tired. And it's like, well, you're probably tired. You just can't fall asleep, because your brain won't stop. Okay. So this next one here we have is, I don't have a doTERRA business. So this is someone who has no interest and they're not building, meaning a business or a team or however you want to look at it, but man, do they want that jasmine. Okay. So how do I get the free jasmine? Well, that's actually, you've got several options here, right? You do, right? You could, go ahead. You don't have to build a business to help your friends get signed up, and then you just keep living your life and they just do theirs. It's not like something like all of a sudden, well, you enrolled that person and now you're here in this Q&A answering questions. You know what I mean? We're not going to do that to you. So you can just go ahead and flip your account, meaning you go in and you just turn your account from a wholesale customer to a wellness advocate. First step, of course, talk to your wellness advocate because they'll walk you through this and help you. And then if you help them get signed up, 5 people at 100 PV, you're going to get that free jasmine. Other ways to do it are to work with your wellness advocate and see about how, work like, so that they're the one taking care of that person, so that they're the one, helping that person out. I know of people who have, oh, you give me 5 referrals, and I sign them up and I'll give you the jasmine that I get, because you're the one, that's your gift for sending those referrals my way. So there are several ways that you can do it, none of which mean that now all of a sudden you've got a sticker on your car that says doTERRA and you're or wait, Romelia, what is your new, you've got like tags?
It's oily mom. A vanity plate with oily mom. You don't have to go that far.
You don't need the vanity plates. We're not going to do that to you, right? You don't necessarily be teaching continued ed classes on Monday nights. But yeah, there are some ways. So talk with your person. All of us here are certainly willing to work with you. I mean, our goal is to help you and your friends to get what they need. You could always, if you decide later on that you want to do something, we can even help you fix that too, so that those people are definitely your people. They would always be with you. So no worries there. I don't know, does anybody else have another way? I think those are really the ways to help. If you have no interest in starting a business, then I would say, do the referrals and talk with your person about saying, hey, I'll give you these 5 people. You give me the jasmine. And the Divana, by the way. Did you know there's a Divana that comes in there too? You tell her, give you that too. Because she should probably want to give you that. Anyhow, okay. So sorry to anyone out there who didn't want to do that, because now I threw you out there, but there you go. Okay, so let's see. Do we have another one on here? I love this one. This is, I'm going to save the tip for last. Is there another time for continuing ed classes with our group with Raven's Nest Essentials? Because I can't make Mondays. It's so funny because I came across a schedule from exactly 1 year ago of classes that we taught, and we offered continuing ed classes 3 times a week. Yes, that's right. 3 times a week. And now we just don't do that because people just, also everybody at that point was watching Tiger King. So they were ready for, something healing in their life. And, we were just at such an early stage of COVID that Zoom classes were awesome, but now everybody's like, oh gosh, Zoom. So we do it once a week. However, we do record them. And we are starting a program now where you can reach out to your wellness advocate, your Raven's Nest Essentials wellness advocate, and get a hold of the recording, and then you answer some questions. This is not, quite honestly, this is not the best way to do it. I'm just going to be real with you. You just miss so much when you're not there live. It really is something we've honestly intentionally not offered for a year, because we know that it's just simply not the best way for people to learn and to engage and to get their specific questions answered and to really listen. I think everyone here knows that when you're in there live, you're listening at a far more, intentional, focus level than if you're just kind of like hearing it going because it's a recording and the kids are in and out and do you know what I'm saying? So, but it's there, right? It's something that now we've realized we kind of have to do, because also a lot of people aren't able to make the 4:30 time on Mondays. So for whatever reason, so reach out to your wellness advocate if that's you, and see about getting a hold of a recording and answering some questions. We do it that way because I know this sounds terrible and I'm so sorry. I hate that. That's the other reason I didn't want to do it for so long, is I have no interest in policing people in their oil class education situation. But honestly, we actually have people who try to say they come to classes and they don't, so that they can get a free diffuser. And that's just so lame. So unfortunately, look, here's the thing, that the diffuser doesn't come from doTERRA. it comes from me or Romelia. And, they're not cheap. So, it's just right out of our pocket. So we do unfortunately have to make sure that you attended the class, the whole class, in order for you to qualify for that. So reach out and we will do our best to get that over your way. What am I missing, guys? Oh, I am missing one, aren't I? From up. Let me see here. Got Manny's dog shampoo taken care of. Okay, we'll wrap up with this one, which is what has been the best way that you have found? What does it say? What have you done to get through the jabs? We all know what that means, right? The new shots that are going around, with minimal side effects. So, as you know, some people have had issues with shot number 2. Other people have been perfectly fine. It's just kind of how it is. Depends on a lot of factors. We've certainly seen a lot of information out there. I think that the best thing we can do is to help you to process it and get through it as quickly and as easily as possible with the least amount of side effects. That being said, you still may get some. Everyone's different, right? Joan, you did a good job with yours, correct? Do you want to share what you were doing and how that worked out for you?
Yeah, I had pretty minimal. I've had both vaccines now, jabs of some kind recently, and I had pretty minimal side effects. So what I did, especially before the second one, I sort of super hydrated. I increased my hydration, and for 2 days before, I did hydration pretty much just with lemon and zendecrine oil in my water. And so I got that really on board. I was taking the zendecrine complex and the zendecrine soft gels as well, just to help process things through the body. I was taking Flume the day before and the day of and the day after. And I also was taking my regular complement of LLV, and I take the deep blue polyphenol and the turmeric every day, along with that Terrazyme as well, and PB Assist. So that's sort of my normal lineup of supplements that I take. And then I was adding in also Copaiba soft gels because I was a bit headachy from it. So I was using those for help there. And then I found for any soreness, because it was sore. I was definitely sore at the point of the jab. And so I was using past tense Copaiba rubbed in, topped with deep blue rub. And I found that was very helpful on my arm to help that, right? And sort of all the way down the arm with that, if it's affecting you all the way down the arm. My biggest side effect, I was a little achy, a little sore. I was incredibly tired the day after. I actually skipped a school thing because I pretty much fell asleep on my sofa for that Saturday afternoon. Which is fine. So I slept a lot. I took it easy. I ate well, sort of all those things. I think the really key is the hydration. And I found I was one of those people who had mild lymphatic involvement on the same side that I had the jab. I have one of my clients had extreme lymphatic involvement with both jabs. But she also has some other things with some autoimmune things that help that. So she knew, and I had given her some zendecrine to help the second time around with that. So that's what I did. And it really was pretty minimal for me in terms of overall side effects. I know, I feel like I was fairly lucky and I felt pretty prepared. And I know others have had different experiences with it.
Diana, did you want to share what did you guys do over there? Because your whole family's done, correct?
Yes, they're all done. Yeah, both my dudes, my hubby and my son, just essentially needed more rest and hydration, and they did of course enjoy the copaiba, and they just got through it pretty well. So they didn't change a whole lot or do a whole lot to mitigate anything. And I had been the first one was really fine for me. And it ended up that I was really like, I don't know, it was a sweet spot, like hydration wise and everything, where I was just like right on the right, thing, because I was doing that. So the second one, I was a bit off kilter. And for my daughter, who has been really just like opting out of almost everything except for just oils, when they're foisted upon, she had a really hard time with both, and it was sad. And so, but I mean, you're an adult, so you've got to make the right decisions as an adult, or deal with the consequences. So for you, make the right decisions for you as an adult, each individual. And so for me, I did have about a 24-hour period of just intense detoxification. So I had like a Herxheimer reaction to it. And that Herxheimer reaction is like where your body is just like, get this damn thing out of me, and whatever it is. And it just, goes through kind of a little bit of like a 24-hour bug. So I did have that. It was fairly intense. With the whole temperature fluctuations and the stomach involvement and everything. But what I just did was I continued to keep hydrating as much as I could in as little increments as possible in order to keep it in. And then I just applied oils to my feet and to my body as much as I could. And that just really supported me. Digestion was there for me. Lemon was there for me, my Zendocrine, of course. And of course, frankincense was my main thing. And then copaiba. So, just like every couple hours I was taking, a drop of frankincense, a drop of copaiba under the tongue, and just like really just being very gentle with myself and just resting. But yeah, I feel like I was in a phase where I had done the cleanse, and I had like kind of uncovered some things, because I deal with gut dysbiosis, and it's a factor. You had posted that iceberg, Carrie.
Yeah.
And that's it right there. That iceberg is it. There's so many things that are under our surface. When we look at ourselves in the mirror, we don't see that under, us looking at ourselves. There's all those things, right? There's some kind of emotional component. There's some kind of, stress component. There's some kind of gut component, all of those things are there, and your body is going to respond. And also your menstrual situation is another component. Your body uses all these different systems to process everything and to work through it. And in my opinion, though it wasn't the most pleasant time, and it was only 24 hours, and I feel great now. And also, I just feel like, it was a necessary part of what I needed to do to process it through and to get through it. And, I feel great. I had a much better, I think technique has a lot to do with the soreness here as well. The first one, I just got shanked with the, with the syringe. I was like,
drive-by stabbing, right?
and so I couldn't even sleep on that side. It was so hard. I was just like, my arms all swelled up. I was looking at it. It was all bump and everything, but it was really the technique. And then the second person grabbed the flesh and made
Yeah.
sure they had a good spot, and just took a minute and like had more skill with it. So that was perfect. That was perfect. And I have nothing that, see, I had no response to here. I had no response here with number 2. So I just think that, each person has their own underlying issues,
Yeah.
and sometimes you just need to be woken up to them and see what's going on inside you, because that's life. That's what we're dealing with, right? I'm happy to get that information and to use it to better myself and to treat myself as well as I can. So that
Mhm.
information telling me that I had that reaction taught me, okay, what do I need to do? And I got back onto a lot of my good habits that were kind of slipping, and
Yeah.
that obviously needed to be bolstered up. So I feel great. I have to tell you, I feel terrific. I also had a little bit of response from that with a little bit of negativity. I know some people have had that as well, a bit of emotional reaction to it. My response to that was to put melaleuca and lemongrass on the top of the head, and just to really, breathe and work through that. And so that really just dispelled and kind of cleared out those thoughts that were beginning to kind of churn around again, that were negative.
Mhm.
And I had a like weird a dream, and weird, those kind of things were happening, and then also just like recurring thoughts, and nothing, that's all gone now, and I feel terrific, I have to tell you.
That's fantastic.
I would toss in there too, because this, in listening to you, right? Because some people have a fear of getting a jab of any kind, right? Some people just are
Yep.
afraid of needles, don't like it. And there's, especially, with jabs people are getting right now, there's a lot of hype and conflicting information out there. And you can get a lot of those thoughts churning around. And so I would again throw out the adaptive, right? If you're one of those people that is feeling anxious before you go, take an adaptive roller with you when you go, right? Have it with you and just help to ensure that calm as you go and go through the process. It really is quick, and there are some side effects for a lot of people, but for most people, they dissipate pretty quickly. And I'm thrilled that we have these amazing natural products to help support us through it, right? It really makes an enormous difference. I can't tell you how many people said, "Oh, take a bunch of ibuprofen." I'm like, yeah, no, okay, thanks.
Let's see. Don't even get me.
No,
I'm about to go off on a
I
thing.
don't have any in my house, and that's not what I'm doing. But thank you for
Yeah.
that advice. Okay.
Well, I do think I really like that point you made too, Diana, about it. It's just, your body is letting you know what you have going on and helping you to be guided toward, addressing it, right? Like stuff's happening. And for people who have dysbiosis specifically, or have digestive health issues or toxicity issues, I really, really think a good few weeks of the Zendocrine and the Zen, you want to prime your organs to be able to process all of that you're being basically bombarded with, right? All at once, split over these 28 days, whatever period it is, whatever yours is. And you need your body to be able to release it and process it. You need your kidneys and liver to be ready, primed and ready to help you work through that, and release the toxins or whatever. And if you are someone who also has, a flare up of whatever sort, consider, after a little bit, maybe doing a cleanse, after let about a few weeks pass after your second shot, and then go ahead and do a cleanse so that you can go ahead and get anything else that's kind of been revealed and settle down your gut health. Because it'll mess up your gut. I mean, it's a stress reaction. It's a fast reaction. It's a lot of information coming at once into our bodies, and it can throw off the gut really, really easily. Some of us have more fragile guts than others. Some people can swallow a license plate. other people can't, eat
Mhm.
gluten. So
Right.
we've got the whole thing. So
And I agree with what you said about the endocrines, but I also would suggest adding the DDR prime.
mhm. Absolutely, because that DDR prime is so healing and so great for that cellular health and that regeneration. So I agree with you, Joan. How amazing is it that we have these tools at a time like this? That, I mean, it's one thing to have ibuprofen for the pain, but we have tools that will actually help our bodies bounce right back in, get through the toxicity aspect of it, and keep moving on, right? And I love that. I love that power that comes with being equipped and knowledgeable, right?
Not adding more toxic strain to the body when you're
Yes.
trying to
Yeah.
deal with something. Right?
Yeah, that ibuprofen, by the way, guys.
Plus, it's
Really
right
hard
there.
on
You could just reach for it and it's right there.
Yeah, yeah. One of the best tips, if you're just looking for easy peasy, is all about a ton of water with lemon, a ton of water with lemon. And so
Right. If that's all you have, then go for that. Yeah,
you just be
absolutely. Because it will help.
swimming in it, especially in the days leading up to and the days during and the days after. Just like water, like that. But remember, did you have that when you were a kid and you could hear the water slushing in your tummy and that's where you want to be. You know what I mean. You know exactly what I
No,
mean.
my doctor back in Phoenix, that was always, he was a big proponent, he was a DO, and he was a big proponent of hydration, right? And it was Phoenix, hello. And he would always say, he's like, I want you to slosh when you walk. That's what I want for you. And that's exactly what he said.
I love that. That's what we're going for here, guys. Sloshing when you walk, but with a little lemon, or maybe even some clement water, like Tammy,
Lemonade water.
some lemonade water, baby. Reduce sugar too. Anyway, okay, so that's it for this week. I hope this has been helpful to all of you. Thank you so much to our amazing panel. You guys are always just the best. We're looking forward to seeing you all next week. We've got our classes lined up. I think on Monday night, we are doing Miss Romelia will be taking us on a path for nutrition and supplementation. Off the top of my head, I'm not 100%. I think, Diana, do we have an emotions class next week? Am I correct on that? Yes. Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. My dates are wackadoodle noodle right now. I didn't even know it was the 12th. So there you go. And then on Wednesday, we'll have Q&A. So if you have questions, send them our way. You can do that by sending them directly to your wellness advocate if they're a part of our team. Or you can email them to ravensnestessentials@gmail.com. Otherwise, have a fantastic week. And thank you all for sending us the questions that we had this week. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
I don't know what they're doing.